Granddad Business with Aaron Collier. That's my dad. Hello! Underpants? That is hilarious. You should mouth to rate and review this podcast or my daddy will go into a deep depression. Going down business with Aaron Collier. Yeah.
Boom. Welcome to Grown Dad Business. This is Aaron Collier from the Dad Cave. Also, Jason Clark with us.
We back.
And this is also a cross episode with my other podcast, You Can't Handle the Truth. That's right. We're double dipping. We're double dipping dots this week. I'm going to mention Dippin' Dots.
I think they took off the sign, Ice Cream of the Future.
Well, Sean Spicer was so angry about that.
Oh, he was.
I didn't even mean to get into politics.
No, we're not. I just said Dippin' Dots. That's
and
what
it made me laugh.
too. But I did think that they did take the sign. It's no longer it's called the Ice Cream of the Future.
Because it is the future,
it's
bro.
The future's here.
Ice cream of the present.
Yeah.
That's what they should call it.
It's horrible stuff. I hate that stuff.
But no, yeah, this is a dual podcast of Grown Dad Business and You Can't Handle the Truth. I do a movie review podcast every week, mostly every week, with Sean Collier. Sean Collier is the Pittsburgh movie reviewer. He does radio and blogs and television and Pittsburgh Magazine.
Most trusted voice when it comes to movies.
Absolutely. He's also a very funny comedian. He's I've worked with him a lot. And so we do You Can't Handle the Truth movie podcast. And
I just did a show with Sean this past weekend, and he did his last 5 minutes as his dad.
That's the best.
So he did. So his dad also is Gene Collier, who's a writer extraordinaire,
Pulitzer Prize losing columnist. That's my favorite intro that Gene always.
Yeah,
that's what he wants.
And you could just on normal conversation just close your eyes and think that you can't tell their voices apart. So he did his last 5 minutes. He did Gene's material.
No
word
way.
for word, he did a few different bits of Gene's. 5 minutes. He did.
Did he do the Viagra one? That's so funny.
The Cialis, and you're going to
Cialis, the 2 tubs.
We did. See, now I'm getting confused because I watched Gene an hour before that do a set, so I'm getting confused. He definitely did Gene's bit where it's
so funny.
Losing the remote control.
Oh yeah,
and then the Antiques Roadshow.
Oh yeah,
which hits my house so hard. Melissa loses it because she
funny.
Loves Antiques Roadshow. My wife does, and what Gene says on stage is what I think
100%.
Every time I'm sitting there and she's watching it.
Yeah, if you get a chance to see Gene Collier or Sean Collier, and Gene is also the author of The Chief
and the Rocky Blyer one-man show,
and the new Rocky Blyer show.
Yeah,
that's out. Stage plays.
Yeah,
award-winning stage plays.
You've seen The Chief.
Yes.
I've seen The Chief.
Tom Atkins.
Oh, my God.
One of my favorite horror actors of all time.
True.
Halloween 3, The Fog. Holler at your boy, Tom.
Yeah.
I'm going to get Tom on the podcast. He's from Pittsburgh, lives in Pittsburgh. We should get Tom on there. But yeah, check out Gene and Sean. Sean and I do that podcast, all on the Epicast network. But yeah, today, before we get into it, today, it's exactly what it says. This is the Movie Dad episode, Movie Dads. Mm-hmm. Jason and I are compiling lists of the best and worst movie dads of all time. And but before we get into that, couple quick little what do you call it? Quick little when they say
mentions?
Quick little
ads. You doing an ad now?
No,
what are you doing?
you gotta do a quick little
doing your promotions.
What's the word? I hear people say we got to do a couple quick little it's a word I'm looking for. That's all right.
Oh, damn it.
But no, shout out to Epicast Network. Hey, if you guys like this podcast or Handle the Truth podcast and you want to start your own podcast, check out epicastnetwork.com/services. They not only produce podcasts, they do live audio production, studio audio production, video production, photography. They do amazing things. They do event promotion. They set up some amazing shows. Like this weekend at the Comptra Theater, our friends, the Drinking Partners, also podcast. They put on an amazing show at the Comptra Theater every month. And I want to give a shout out to Dave Bracey and Ed Bailey. You've heard us mention them a lot. They've both been guests on this podcast. Ed Bailey got in a really bad car accident last weekend. Yeah. He is still in stable condition. Mm-hmm. It's not good, but he's making a very good recovery now. Yeah. It was really rough.
Yeah, it was a weird. It was a weird 12 hours in Pittsburgh comedy.
Dude,
we lost a comic at John Rolla, who passed away.
Yeah,
and then not long that night when we got off stage,
8 hours later.
Yeah, we got off stage that night, and the text started happening about hey, what happened to Ed?
Yeah,
and no one, and then
I know, man.
All night it just kept building.
My wife and I were on our way back. I was working on Norwegian cruises this week, and I was on my way back. So I flew from Miami to JFK. I land at JFK, find out that John Rollich died. And I'm like, oh, my God. Yeah. One of the nicest, most generous, sweetest people I've ever met, and a good comic to boot. John is just, he's a very big dude. And I know he's been struggling with his weight his whole life. But, he lost 150 pounds. I know he's had some bad health issues. Yeah. And that's pretty much what it came down to. And it's sad because he really is like just a bright person. Yeah,
as soon as you met John, the first time I met John, it was just instantly like you were like in that moment of just like this dude.
Such a good dude.
Just a great guy. It was a really difficult time this weekend. A lot going on, and everybody was performing at Scene this weekend, and then all of a sudden all this, came to a head.
That's what happened. So I landed at JFK, heard about John. I fly from JFK to Pittsburgh. I find out about Ed.
Yeah.
I land at like 11:30 in Pittsburgh, and I'm like, they're like, what happened to Ed? What happened? I'm like, oh my God. And I just, after hearing about John, I was already had this like, somber mood, even though I'm coming home from a vacation with my wife pretty much. And, it was just like, oh man, like, and then just thinking about Ed, and then it really hits you where it's like, he's a father and a husband. He's got two little babies, and that just, I said, please God, do not let something happen to him. Like it just broke me.
Yeah, all the updates that we've got recently, he's got a long haul ahead of him, but he's definitely
it's been encouraging, Yeah,
it's been all encouraging stuff. So shout out to Ed and of course his partner Day. That those guys have built quite a good little thing there with the drinking partners. And
good, really good dudes.
Yeah,
and really great comics. So I can't wait to see Ed on stage again. That'll be awesome. So, that was a quick little break with that. Other than that, this month I am performing quite a few places. Well, in the next, couple weeks, month, whatever. We got a couple things going on. This weekend I'll be in South Carolina, but, you won't be there. It's an island. It's an island golf resort where they have some special weekend. But check this out. February 1st. I will be at Morty's in Indianapolis, one night only with my friend Josh Blue. Really awesome. I love Josh. Yeah. I just saw Josh at the Denver airport randomly.
That picture just out of nowhere.
Dude, I walked up to him and I was like, what up? Well, he's from Denver. Oh, okay. I love Josh. I've toured with Josh. God, he's one of the most fun people to hang out with. But that's just February 1st. And then Thursday through Saturday, February 2nd through the 4th, I'm staying at Morty's in Indianapolis with Henry Phillips. Really great comedian, does some guitar comedy. You might have seen his movie Punching the Clown. It's a stand-up comedy mockumentary. Henry's so funny. And then February 9th through the 12th is Arcade Anniversary Weekend.
Yep.
4 years.
4 years.
4 years of arcade comedy theater. Yep. I cannot believe it.
And our last anniversary in the old space. So next year at this time, we'll be in a completely new space.
I remember putting on a stand-up show when there was still paint drying.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
With like 4 people that came and just things like that. I remember just being there was nobody there. So.
Now we're selling out shows. We're going to have 2 stages. It's unbelievable. So check out Arcade Comedy Theater. That's TER Theater. ArcadeComedyTheater.com.
Theatre.
Yeah. There's some really awesome shows. I'm going to be doing 2 shows there. Jason's going to be on February 10th at 8 p.m. I'm hosting the Player One show with also Baby Grand, our friend Missy Marino, Connor McCandless, the best musical improv group I've ever seen.
You've heard Missy on You Can't Handle the Truth.
Mm-hmm. And then at 10 p.m. we're doing the Stand Up Get Down. An amazing cast.
Great lineup.
I love this lineup. Sean Collier's on that one.
Sean's back with us.
Yeah.
Tim Ross is back with us. It's been
Long time.
Tim was the last time Tim was on was when we shut down the old show.
Really?
Mm-hmm, that was the one. That was the Feed Tim Ross show where
That's right.
Where that show was
so funny.
Was
and
incredible.
Mary Mac, by the way, shout out to Mary Mac. Mary Mac is going to give us a ton of Mary Mac baked goods to give out to the audience.
That.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And they're not special baked goods. Wink, wink, wink.
Yeah.
Holler at your 420. But no, they're not. They're just amazing. She's a beast. And then February 11th, I'm going to be in Ridgeway, PA, doing a show. If you happen to be over there, it's just it's a show.
Where's Ridgeway?
Dude, it's like 3 hours away.
Oh, okay.
Then February 17th, I'll be at the Abe Lincoln Theater.
I seen that on your
in Reading, Pennsylvania. Yeah. Hey, whatever.
Why not?
And then I'm going to be at the Star City Comedy Club for one night only in Roanoke, which I might do some American Horror Story history. I'm gonna start looking up the. And then at the February 23rd through the 25th or 26th, I think I'm going to be in Philadelphia. I'm not sure, but then that's about it. So that's what's going on. Jason, Jason's got a lot of free time on his hands. You got to start booking some more shows.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah?
Yeah, we will.
You'll be all right.
Yeah.
We'll book some shows. Jason's going on the road with me this weekend because YOLO.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Dad's got to get out.
Yeah, Dad's got to get out.
Yeah, so we're going to road trip.
Take some cigars and whiskey and
just,
get nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get nuts. I always tell that joke on stage where it's like, people are like, "Oh, you're a dad all by yourself. What are you getting into? You getting crazy?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, tonight I might have 2 Michelob Ultras. It might get crazy."
Exactly. Yeah. I'm sleep in the middle of the bed. It's gonna get nuts.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch Hot Moms loading the dishwasher topless. That's what I'm into. You know what I mean? Like what?
Yeah. It comes a time where you're just like, you know what? I just want to be alone with my thoughts.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I'm gonna sleep for 14 hours and catch up on Bob Vila's Home Again on YouTube. By the way, real facts, you can watch every episode of Bob Vila's Home Again on YouTube, so you're welcome.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into it, dude. Dude, we got to move.
Yeah, this is a fun topic. I was excited when we sort of were bouncing around ideas last month, and this one just sort of popped off. And, just said to Aaron, hey, listen, Oscar noms came out.
Yeah, great idea.
Let's talk about this topic that we were kicking around of, favorite movie dads.
And, we're going to do an extra butter segment. For like we do in You Can't Handle the Truth movie review podcast. We're doing extra butter segment, and that we'll touch on the Oscar nominations real quick. But usually Sean and I do a really great Oscar preview. We really break it down for you guys in a month or so. So we'll do that.
And that's not my wheelhouse.
I mean, that's cool, man. That's why we're just doing a little extra butter. And then we'll also do Son of a Bitch of the Week. I know my Son of a Bitch of the Week. So
yeah,
sorry. All right, well, let's get into it. I don't know if I have 10 of the best movie dads, and then I have 5 worst dads. And
the way I just went with my 10 favorites.
Yeah, me too.
That's all. I didn't really break down good or bad.
And I will say that I picked one TV dad.
I've seen that on your list.
Because I had to. I had to include this because this was my dad in middle school.
Okay.
It was. Like, I wish this was my dad.
I wish my dad was a lawyer, too, and lived in a mansion.
You shut your mouth. He wasn't a lawyer, by the way. He was a
judge.
judge.
Oh, he's a judge. That's right.
Well, let's just start with that.
Okay.
Let me just start with that. I picked for my one TV dad, breaking the rules, is Uncle Phil.
Yeah.
Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I love this guy. I still to this day remember seeing a couple episodes of Fresh Prince. And look, I grew up without a dad, even though I had amazing male figures in my life, mentors but Uncle Phil, I remember watching a couple of those episodes where I cried. I cried when he had a moment with especially remember the episode when his dad didn't show up to his high school graduation?
Why, yeah, that moment.
Sobbed.
Yeah.
I was probably 17. Sobbed.
His dad was played by Ben. What?
Was
it
Ben Vereen?
Ben Vereen played Will Smith's dad.
I think so.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it was Ben Vereen.
It was.
Great
because he was in his life, and then all of a sudden,
that's right.
Boom.
Yeah.
He didn't show up.
I will go with TV Dad Uncle Phil as my breaking the rules for movie dads.
Yeah.
That's my Uncle Phil. Do you have any?
I don't have it. No. I could probably agree with you on the Uncle Phil one. When I think of TV dads that in my growing up, obviously.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people could name. Andy Griffith, Leave It to Beaver. You name all these.
Well, I'm not that
Greg
old.
Brady, whatever. No,
that guy was an idiot. No, no, he was a terrible architect. It just was.
He was a terrible architect.
Good. He welcomed in this other family into his life, and
this single mom living in a one-bedroom apartment.
It was kind of easy, but no,
it's funny.
I think of obviously, I watched Bill Cosby was like the dad, like when we were that age, when I was that age. That was the show.
Yeah, no, you're not
Bill
wrong.
Cosby. Jason Seaver.
Yeah, dude.
Alan Thicke.
Oh, yeah.
Word up. Peace.
Yeah.
Up in heaven.
God rest.
Doing his thing.
God rest, son.
Yeah, I've spilled a little bit out of my coffee for Jason Seaver this morning.
That's right.
So those are the TV dads that, that I think.
You could always say Danny Tanner.
Oh, God, no.
Bob? No.
I know. I know your relationship with him, and I know that you work with him a lot.
I didn't say he was my favorite TV dad.
I'm just saying I hated that show.
Did you?
Oh, with a passion.
I don't remember ever being like, oh, I love this show. It was like, whatever. It was always just there.
Yeah, everyone going nuts over the second version of it. No, it's not.
You're talking about my wife right now. She's listening, and she's like, Jason, don't you dare.
Wendy,
she loves it.
I get it.
They made it a show about the girls.
It's terrible.
Good for whatever. Ladies who love it, good for them.
Anyways, just throw away the
ladies
dad
love
from
me.
TV.
Girls adore me.
Even the ones?
Yeah. All right. So
yeah, the TV one threw me off a little bit there, but that's okay.
I'm gonna knock off. Do you have one that's not on my list?
That's what I'm looking at. It was interesting. We just texted each other what our lists were, just randomly. We didn't agree on anything first. Yeah, there's a couple different things that are different. I'm gonna get rid of the worst dads list from yours because.
Well, you added to it, and I thought it was really funny.
Yeah,
I'll take a break.
Oh, the one that I would say that's on my list, it's not on your list. The one we did talk about beforehand was I put on Vito Corleone. I put on Don Corleone, Marlon Brando from The Godfather. Again, we can sit here and talk about each one and break down like why we think this person, that I just, for me, it was, Marlon Brando, larger than life for me, watching that movie, creating the family, following that whole story and what he built.
I just was like, yeah, okay. But best movie dad, the dude made his whole family continue organized crime and murdering people.
Hey, listen, everyone builds their empire in different ways.
Right.
Some of them are real estate tycoons that later on live in big white houses.
Yeah, it happens. You never know what's going to happen.
Evil comes from different directions.
That's a good one. I'm going to go with, this is a tie only because they're animated dads. It's a 3-way tie of animated dads. Number one, Marlin in Finding Nemo, Albert Brooks.
Yes.
This is also the asterisk. I'm using 2 of them for a TV dad and then a 3-way tie with animated dads. So that's part of my 10. So this is the 3-way animated tie. Marlin from Finding Nemo, Mufasa from The Lion King, and the other one would be Mr. Incredible.
Yes, and I had Mr. Incredible there, and I didn't. Again, this list isn't like my 10 favorites. It was just 10 that popped in my head.
Yeah,
but I did have Mr. Incredible, but that came after I already had a 10. So that's
why I do a 3-way tie.
Yeah,
see, I'm good at doing lists with Sean Collier.
Right,
and we always have honorable mentions and 3-way ties and
a couple different.
Yeah, dude.
But Mr. Incredible, that is probably one of the most exciting sequels coming out that I'm fired up for.
Excited.
Because when Incredibles ended,
my family is the Incredibles.
Oh yeah, I looked at. I know that's the funniest. I know. When I heard you the first time you said that, I was like, oh my goodness, holy shit, he's
my
so
family
right.
is the Incredibles, and people even say like, you look like Mr. Incredible. I'm not. Whoa. I'm not saying I'm some rip buff dude, but I am a wide guy up top, and the way I comb my hair now, I look like Mr. Incredible. Right. I get it.
Yeah,
and I love it.
When that movie ended, I looked at my kids. Because, I mean, how many years ago was that? My kids were young.
Oh, yeah.
We were in the theater seeing it. I looked at him, I go, this sequel's going to be incredible.
It's like 2007.
And here we are, all this time. We're going to, 10 years later, we're finally going to get the sequel. I'm excited about that.
Yeah. All right, digging right back into that.
The first, like I told you, when this topic came up a month ago, the first name that popped into my head was Chet Ripley.
Yeah, that's an interesting pick.
Love John Candy, first and foremost.
John Candy and The Great Outdoors.
Yeah.
With Dan Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd playing the douche dad.
Yeah. So you have Chet Ripley that he's at the stage of his life where his kids, you're losing grips with the family. They're no longer the little kids. They're not excited about doing stuff with you anymore. The oldest one wants to go make out with the chick that works at the store.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a good movie, dude.
How many times I've seen it? It's unbelievable. It's I love that movie. So, but I can relate to Chet Ripley, like that moment in time where you just want everything to be so perfect. You want it to be the way things were when you went to the camp when you were younger, and then in comes your asshole brother-in-law that wants to rent the jet boat, and now he's cool as shit because you got the pontoon boat.
So funny.
So you relate in a lot of ways. I did with Chet of just wanting to hold on to that.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, and it's and this is going to come up quite a few times, but written by John Hughes.
Mm-hmm.
John Hughes really wrote great dads.
Yeah.
He really did. And John Hughes is going to come up a couple more times because he writes great dads. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
And I'll stick right with that. Right with John Hughes on my list is Neil Page, Steve Martin in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite comedies of all time, maybe my number one comedy of all time. But he's a great dad. He's just trying to get home to his family for Thanksgiving. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And keeping it with Steve Martin. Steve Martin has played a couple good dad characters. He played George Banks in Father of the Bride.
Father of the Bride, yeah.
And I would even go and more Steve Martin. Steve Martin in Parenthood.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Yeah.
Young Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Plays his...
Parenthood's the one where he is the college
nephew?
Football coach, correct?
No.
Which one am I thinking of there?
Oh, that's Father of the Bride, I thought. No, Parenthood, he's not a football coach.
What was the one where they did the sequel where then he was...
He was having another baby with Diane Keaton.
Yes.
He is the football coach?
Yeah, he's a football coach.
Jeez, I don't remember that. That's Father of the Bride.
Because she's the writer.
That's Father of the Bride.
Yeah, because...
Jeez, I didn't remember he was a football coach in Father of the Bride, was he?
I'll have to fact check that.
But I know, and I own that, I think.
Yeah, I know I'm getting the movies confused.
But he's played some great dads. Honestly, if you think about it, like who could be your real dad in real life? If like I could pick a dad since I don't have one, like Steve Martin would make a pretty good dad.
Seems like he's probably good with money and he's funny and he'd probably be a little
good with money. It's the first thing we say. That's the most grown dad thing.
He's probably thrifty with his cash. He seems responsible with it.
He looks like he's a saver.
Yeah, I don't see him going out and blowing it on some crazy shit.
Do you have do you have anything else that we don't have?
Yeah. Did you have Jason Furious Styles on your list? Lawrence Fishburne for Boys in the Hood?
No.
Yes.
But okay.
Yeah, I remember seeing Boys in the Hood in the theater weekend release date.
Oh boy.
And in Monroeville.
Wow.
Just me and that crowd. It was packed.
Wow.
And just seeing Lawrence Fishburne in that role of just like he's in Compton and he has Cuba Gooding Jr. that's coming in and just the way that he treats him as it's time to be a man and you're going to make man decisions. And he lets him sort of live that life. If you think about it, and Lawrence Fishburne has to reel him back in and try to take control, but he also knew when he had to let him make his own decisions and deal with it. So, Lawrence,
that's a great movie.
That scene where they're when he's shaving his dad's hair.
Yeah.
Like I'm watching that, going, damn man, yeah. So I loved him in that role. I loved that. I love that dad in that movie. Because it really in that scenario. Not a lot of dads in that environment.
It's very powerful.
In that environment. There's not a lot of dads.
Right, no, it's good. It's a good one. Mm-hmm. Now it makes me want to watch it again.
Great movie. God. Wow. So when that movie ends and when he put...
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, the stop sign.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when that movie ended, and it was just stop.
Oh, yeah.
And you just sat there in the movie theater and just were like, damn, man. Because here I am, a white suburban kid watching this and thinking, damn, I'm seeing a whole world.
It was definitely groundbreaking for it's like, hey, no, look at this other side of, a humanity that you probably don't know about.
Sure. We were just we're only a few years after being introduced to NWA at that time.
Oh, yeah.
As far as giving us that side
Yeah,
of,
if that.
Yeah, it might have been, I want to say that the first time I heard NWA come across would have been 89, 90.
Well, this Boys in the Hood came out in
91, maybe 91, around that time. So it was pretty quick.
Wow.
So it was introducing us to a whole side of of a world that we didn't really fully understand.
Wow. I think we both put down Liam Neeson in Taken.
We did, absolutely. Are you kidding
just by
me?
protocol, by happenstance alone, you got to mention Liam Neeson beating people's asses for his daughter all over the world.
Hell yeah, because you sit back and watch that movie and go, God damn you, Brian Mills, I feel you. That's me. I'm coming. I don't got that skill, but I will beat you with a 2x4 if that's what's available.
Ass.
Yeah.
And then I'm starting to get into lower in the list, and we're gonna finish off with the top 5 worst dads in movies. But I'm gonna throw out Nicolas Cage in Raising Arizona.
Yeah, I
dude, that movie.
That
movie's so silly, and the extent he goes to for Nathan Jr. It's so ridiculous.
I gotta go. It's been a long time since I've watched it.
You gotta watch that again.
I enjoy that movie. Absolutely.
It's funny.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, Nicolas Cage is goofy as hell. And it kind of is curious to me why Nicolas Cage, he really had at that point in his, who he was, I really feel like he had a great handle of comedic acting and physical comedy, and why he didn't stick to that. And, and then he immediately becomes this action star. He's in Broken Arrow and
Face Off
and, Con Air. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
He was really good at that.
Well, I think when I think of Nicolas Cage and you think of just he acts with his face so incredibly well.
Yeah.
So when you think of those funny moments from Raising Arizona, a lot of it was just that, again, like you said, that physical comedy.
And he had that wiry frame like Jim Carrey did, and you know what I mean? But I think it's so funny, and it's like just this tale of a dad just trying to put a family together. It's so funny. I'm gonna try to save a couple, but I'm gonna bring up the next one, Dr. Jones Sr. Yeah, you heard what I said, Sean Connery.
Yeah,
Sean Connery's Dr. Jones pretty much created Indiana Jones.
Right.
He basically followed in his footsteps. Holler at Professor Henry Jones for creating Indiana Jones and who he is. Dude,
there's nothing more to say.
I gotta throw it out there.
There's nothing more to say to that.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah,
take him out.
Yeah,
doesn't exist.
Do you have anybody else I don't have?
I have the other one that I talked to you about that
you hate.
That got you sad.
Oh, jeez.
Bob Jones, Michael Keaton in My Life.
Yeah, what? The fact that that is a deep cut right there.
Damn it.
And also, just bring up a movie that my wife and I were like, oh, let's watch this.
To cleanse our tear ducts.
Oh my, you just sob.
This movie, you cry so hard.
You know what? F you, Jason.
I know. But
this is depressing.
Again, though, all I'm saying is
okay, well, I'll match this with equally depressing.
The reason why is because this dad is going to die. His terminal cancer. He's dying of cancer. He knows this. He only has so much time to live. And his unborn son. Yeah. Nicole Kidman's pregnant with his unborn son, with his son. He then goes and creates tapes, VCR tapes, right, VHS, of life lesson things. Videotapes himself teaching his son how to shave. And it just made you sit back and go, that's a badass dad.
Yeah, Jason,
we know.
That's a badass dad.
Okay? It's a badass dad. He's taking care of the kid after death.
So depressing.
Oh, it's so sad.
So sad.
I can't watch it. I won't. It's just.
All right, I'll match you with sad, and then we'll pick it back up a notch. I'll match you with Guido. Yeah, Guido. Roberto Benigni and Life is Beautiful.
Okay.
You ever seen Life is Beautiful? Jason, I almost said Sean.
This is
Sean, has Sean seen it?
Has Jason seen it?
Has Jason seen it?
No.
Oh my gosh!
No, go ahead. Don't chastise me.
Roberto Benigni won the Oscar that year for playing a father with his little boy in a concentration camp.
Oh God.
And he pretty much brought joy to people's lives by acting like a fool and being funny and really like tried to be a good dad to get his son through this time in a concentration camp. It's one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen.
Won 3 Oscars.
Yeah, bro.
I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, you got to see it.
All right, I just put it on my to-do list.
It's a beautiful movie. But I'll go straight to something you were like, I hate that fucking movie. I will and this is also, I think this is in the same category as like Liam Neeson in Taken. Mm-hmm. Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire.
God almighty.
You hate it.
I do, and I love Robin Williams. I do. With everything. I just look at that, and I get where you're coming from. This guy will do anything to be with his kids. And he's, I don't know. I don't like the movie.
Jeez.
That's it.
I just think I think you got to say that a guy that dresses up like an old English woman just for his kids.
Yeah.
That's spectacular. That's duly noted.
Yeah. No, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I mean,
I only have one left.
Which is?
Do you have any left that we didn't mention?
I have Greg Kinnear in Little Miss Sunshine.
That's an interesting little pick.
Yeah, that movie, I enjoy that movie, and at the same time,
I got 2.
This dad is like, hell yeah, I can see the fact that you're probably not that good at this, but I'm going to own it, funny. And I'm going to give you whatever I can to help your dreams come true. And by the end of it, everyone's just silly as shit.
So funny.
And just owning it, And it really gives you tell me you didn't walk away from, not that you didn't already know that those children's pageants are some of the most seediest bullshit that you'd ever see. And then you see this happening, you're like, God, these people are disgusting. Like, this is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Richard Hoover, Greg Kinnear, and Little Miss Sunshine is on my list.
I like it.
Yeah.
So I have a tie for 2 top dads. Number 1, one's funny, one's serious. Mm-hmm. My number 1 funny dad is Clark Griswold.
It's my number 1 too.
Dude.
Yep.
I'm sorry. He is the best and funniest dad in movie history.
Yes.
Dude, he's so well-intentioned, but he's so funny. The way he handles things, but he's kind of naive. Mm-hmm. I just love Clark Griswold with all my heart.
Yep.
God, and Chevy Chase is so damn funny.
Yeah.
That's my number 1.
He's a typical dad of just like, listen, I've got a vision in my head of how this is going to go, and I'm going to slam it, and we're going to get this done. Like, to get to Wally World, he's going to do whatever the hell it takes. He's going to make it happen. So yeah, he's my top. He's my top as well. We didn't talk about tops before. That's the one on my list we didn't talk about.
Funny.
I was saving for the end before we get to the worsts.
And I would say the number 1 dad in movie history, and for me, it is Atticus Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah.
That I watched it again later, and he has a daughter named Scout. And I have a friend who named his daughter Scout after that movie. Mm. And there's just something about having a dad that's strong in that time of history that, for him to just kind of stick to his convictions and be poised and like professional and just a good man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think when you watch that as a dad, you can watch it and be like, I hope that my kids think that I'm a good man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can as much as you want say that, oh, my dad was fun and my dad provided for me. And, I think at the end of the day, you want, your kids to be those kids when they grow up and say, my dad's a good man.
Sure.
He was a good man to my mother.
Mm-hmm.
He was a good man to people. And I think that's one of those things of being a dad is, and I think Atticus Finch is definitely just a great person, a character to tie to as just like, that's what you strive to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, once they get through all of the decisions that you've had to make, and you're going to make right decisions and wrong decisions, they're going to see decisions that you made 20 years from now that they thought you were out of your mind with, and they'll understand where you were coming from and why you did them. And at the end of it, you just want them to say, you know what?
Yeah,
he was a good guy.
Yeah,
he was a good man. Yeah, that's a dad goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
let's go from good men to
the worst dads of all time. There's a typo when I texted this on my phone, and it's so funny I can't even laugh. And I'll get to that. Okay. So, do you have a number one worst dad?
I do.
Okay,
yeah, I do, and he's on both of our lists.
Okay, because Sean Collier, I talked to Sean Collier, who I co-host You Can't Handle the Truth podcast. Follow us, handlethetruthpodcast.com, or on Twitter @truthpodcast, or find us on Facebook, Handle the Truth Podcast. I told Sean, and Sean goes, well, that's definitely number one. And I laughed, and I was like, oh, yeah, probably. And I go, wait a second. Let me get real nerdy and think about this. He's not number one. He's number two, Sean. So I changed my number one. You're going to see my typo, which makes me laugh hard without laughing. See my number one?
Yeah.
That's my number one.
Wow.
And for good reason.
Yeah.
And I'm going to break it down real quick. But let me go backwards. Jason came up with this one, and it made me laugh. This is just kind of don't give us angry emails. I think it's pretty funny. Jason said, what about God in Passion of the Christ? I was like, good point.
Yeah.
My man didn't do nothing.
He just said, deal with it.
He said, well, I need you to do this.
Yeah.
So get up there. Yeah. Jason.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
good pick.
That's one that just hit me.
That's number 5.
Yeah.
Do you have one that I don't have?
No.
Oh, okay. Mm-mm. So this next one is kind of a throwaway, but Dr. Evil.
Yeah.
is garbage.
Yeah, he is garbage.
Wait, who was that? Seth Green?
What was his son? His son was Seth Green.
Oh yeah, so funny.
Yeah. Oh, that was good. Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
Terrible dad.
Yeah.
And I'll go with counting down number 3 is Royal Tenenbaum. Mm-hmm. Gene Hackman in the Royal Tenenbaums. What a piece of garbage.
Trash.
He's such an asshole.
God.
Yeah, that's my number 3. Do you have a different one? You don't have a different one? Oh, we're good?
No, we're good there.
All right, so here it is.
We're going to, I think, flip-flop 2 and 1. I think that's where it's going to be.
I'm surprised because I know you're a huge fan.
I'm huge.
But let me
huge.
But let me break this down. Here's the contention we're with. We have as number 1 and 2, or tied for 1 respectively, is Jack Torrance from The Shining.
God.
Jack Nicholson.
Yep.
And Darth Vader.
Yeah.
That's our debate right now.
And there's nothing,
Jason?
There's nothing to. I mean, the thing for me is I love the character of Darth Vader.
Absolutely.
That darkness, that just the controlling nature, the whole thing. I mean,
but if we break it down as a dad piece of shit factor,
yeah.
Let's break it down though.
Yeah.
So your number 1.
The first time you meet Darth Vader, then when you finally...
Wait, is your number 1 Darth Vader?
No, that's my number 2.
It's your number 2?
Yeah, my number 1's Jack Torrance.
Okay, well, my number 1 is Darth Vader.
Yeah.
My number 2 is Jack Torrance.
Wow.
Now here, let me break it down here.
Go ahead.
Jack Torrance, okay. Jack Torrance did not choose to be evil. He was possessed by a paranormal entity, and he only killed the chef, spoiler alert, and tried to kill his wife and son. All right?
Right.
Didn't actually hurt them at all, really. He killed one dude. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's why Jack Torrance is number one number two
for you
because he's terrifying.
Yeah,
and it's pretty crazy. Darth Vader is number one.
Yeah,
he chose the dark side. Not only did he first chose the dark side. As Anakin Skywalker, he murdered a room of children.
Not his kids.
Okay.
There's plenty of times where you've been at a playground and you're like, if I had a goddamn lightsaber right now, I'd be chopping up some mini
Don't
Jedis.
ever give Jason a lightsaber in a Chuck E. Cheese because he'll lose his damn mind.
You know about that Chuck E. Cheese.
But look, okay, that's just the start.
Yeah.
Okay, before he was even a dad, he killed a room of children.
Yeah, he wasn't a dad yet.
He hunted down people, killed them.
Yep.
Then he had twins, Luke and Leia. Mm-hmm. He sent people to murder them. He sent an entire army to murder his children. He was so dangerous, they had to hide his children on different planets.
I know.
He was such a dangerous father that they split up the twins and hid him on different planets. Am I convincing enough yet? Think about it, Jason.
You're very convincing.
Hold on.
Absolutely.
Hold on. Then he, the people that took care of his daughter, he blew them motherfuckers up. He's like, I don't give a Alderaan.
You're done.
You're done. Her foster parents were blown up by the Death Star. I'm a nerd. I can get down to details.
No, listen.
He blew them up and then arrested and tortured his own daughter.
Well, the tortured part.
He did torture her. They weren't showing it in 1977.
No. I mean,
he put her in the torture chair.
If he wanted to,
she was screaming.
If he wanted to kill her.
For information.
Yes. Now, he was somewhat controlled. I mean, he had to answer to people. I mean, it was beyond...
He chose the dark side.
But then when it all came down to it...
Now, hold on. That does not make him a good dad.
Well, I believe in forgiveness. I believe...
He was trying to kill his two children for 3 entire movies.
Yeah.
Okay? One of them, he cut off the hand of his son.
You got to teach your kid a lesson. You don't touch the stove when it's on.
I do a whole joke about that.
You can't.
I started talking about that.
You're going to teach him. You have to make him learn. Dad's teaching different ways.
He cut off his son's hand.
We can't always agree with the methods. You have your method. Listen, I'm not making an argument for this shit. Listen, all I know is when that music comes on, I'm like, Darth Vader's on, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
I never really sat there and truly... Obviously, you can all tell Aaron put a lot more thought into his bad dad scenario. It just come quick.
I'm a nerd, that's all. I'm a Star Wars nerd and a movie nerd. I'm a nerdy dad. I mean, I'm looking at posters of Darth Vader right now.
Yeah. I'm wearing a Batman shirt.
Yeah, dude.
I mean...
If Batman had kids, he'd be up there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he would have no. I mean, I did see a list where someone put that Alfred as a father figure was a great father, relax. And I'm just like, now you're stretching.
While I'm looking at my posters, honorable mention to John McClane from Die Hard.
Yeah.
He had kids.
Mm-hmm. So did Ray Liotta in Goodfellas.
Oh, well, he was a piece of shit.
He was a piece of shit.
I don't remember his kids. His kids were a non-factor.
But this was fun. No, I see what you're saying. It's fun to break down and go, God damn it. I don't think I ever looked at Vader, man.
As a terrible father.
You're a bad dad.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Bad dad.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Terrible.
But so good on screen. God,
I know.
God, I love it.
Well, that's it. That's the best and worst movie dads.
Yeah.
That's the movie dad episode.
Yeah. If you have 1, 2 that you want to throw our way.
Yeah, if we forgot something, hit us up on Facebook. You can look up, Aaron and Jason. Our things are in the, whatever, descriptions and
Click
blah, blah, blah,
it.
wherever you found
Follow
it.
us.
Follow us. You can also check out Grown Dad on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
At Grown Dad. Yeah, we got at Grown Dad.
We did.
Isn't that dope?
It is.
GrownDadBusiness.com. You can look at other podcasts that we've done. We have tons of podcasts where we talk about various topics. Last week's episode, the car episode, that was fun. We talked about our first cars and our accidents and some dad issues.
Experiences.
Yeah, near-death experiences.
Wow.
That's the next one. We're going to have a medium come in. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, good Lord is right. I ain't doing that. But hey, son of a bitch of the week.
Yeah.
My son of a bitch of the week is... it's going to be Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Because there's, hey, man, I'm sorry. We don't get political on here. But some of the executive orders signed this week is, that's a son of a bitch move.
Yeah.
After a lot of people voiced their concerns about so many different things, women's rights and environmental rights or environmental issues, money talks.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
Money talks and your party makes you walk. So, son of a bitch of the week. Maybe next week he will get himself out of that category. We'll see.
That's it.
Having hope for the president of the free world. Is it? I don't know if it is anymore.
I don't know what to do.
Our podcast just got banned.
Yeah, we just got on a list.
Gag order.
Yeah, we got a gag order signed on us.
Sorry to get political, but that's the only thing I can think of as things are rolling out in a new presidency. That's all. Maybe next week it'll be, I don't know. Next week it'll be George Soros. I don't know. I'm kidding.
Could Donald Trump be considered the worst dad? Yeah, we could put him on our list.
Does he
have a SAG card?
Bro.
We could put him on there, right?
I mean, bro, he has very successful children.
Yeah.
So he provides.
Sure.
It's a tough thing to say.
He's no Darth Vader.
No, definitely no Darth Vader. He's not a... I don't know. Have you looked closely at Eric's hand? Is that a fake? All right. We're out of here. Be kind and be funny. Holla at you boys.
Yeah.